Hey guys, just making a quick video on my lunch break. Wanted to address this little situation. I don't know if it would be an address, but just to kind of talk about it a little bit. And you guys are not doing much feedback or posting on the page, so I wish you would. Please be interactive, post some good things. I know you guys have some stuff. But anyways, I was with a relative the other day having a conversation about another relative of ours that is supposed to be going to a family event with us at the end of the month. Very important family event. And I was just on the phone talking to her because one of our relatives is unable to attend due to, or supposedly unable to attend because she has to take care of her grandchildren. She's always taking care of her grandchildren, which is fine. But this particular event, I felt like maybe the parents should step in or somebody else, to help her because she doesn't really do a whole lot as it relates to leaving town. And, these children do have parents. So the point of this is that the person that I was having the discussion with, the other family member, who was rather upset that she wouldn't be able to go because she has to babysit her grandchildren. They're both Christians or whatever. And so she's just going on and on and on about how this particular relative doesn't make any time for God and all she cares about is these grandkids and, that shouldn't be her everyday thing and she doesn't understand. And I'm just sitting there listening. And she's like, yeah, and I told her not one good deed is going to get you into heaven. It's nothing good that you can do for anybody that's going to get you into heaven. You got to spend some time with the Lord and go to church and this and that. And I'm like, wow. So in essence, she's telling this relative that God cares more about you being at church and doing whatever it means to be at church than to take care of your grandchildren whose their parents are not necessarily the best parents. Otherwise she wouldn't be taking care of them as much. So I was just really blown away, and I said to her, I said, well, instead of coming at her, with all the dogma of, her not getting into heaven, why don't you try a more love-based, application to telling her that she might need to, I don't even know what, because those are her grandkids. So there are people out here wishing that they had grandparents that doted and took up a whole bunch of time with their grandkids. So I don't know what the problem is with her, but she doesn't have any children. So that could be why she doesn't understand. And so it's just weird to me, and it's very puzzling to me how people that are quote unquote Christians or quote unquote in Christianity, they always have this way of making people feel bad. I remember when I was in this, I used to have this friend that was a prophet or quote unquote prophet, and she would call and just, thinking I'm doing well and I'm going to church and I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm not having sex, I'm not married, so I'm not having sex with anybody, I'm just chilling. And she would call me up and, well, the Lord told me this about you. And the Lord is saying that you just this and you just, and I'm just like, well, damn, I can't never get shit right. I can't never get my life together, because God, and I'm just like, well, what kind of gossiping type person is God that he would call up this person every opportunity to tell her all my damn business? I'm like, when did he become such a gossiper? But, and all that to say, I just don't really understand what we're doing here, what the churches are doing. You don't see any churches, and I had posted a video with I forget his name, but I had posted a video about how the church is not making a stance on any of these issues. They're not standing up and saying anything. And could it be because there's a scripture in the Bible that says that God creates the good and the evil? He's the light and the darkness. It's in Isaiah, I want to say chapter 47. I want to say verse 10 or either verse 7. One of those. He literally comes out and says, I am the Lord. I bring the light and the darkness, as well as the evil and the good. So what the hell are we praying for? Like, if he's the bringer of it, it's almost like you're begging. So, problem, reaction, solution. I'm going to go create this huge problem, but then you got to come to me to beg me to fix it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. You create the problem for me. You allow these things in my life, and then I got to come beg you to fix it. And then you'll fix it if you feel like it or if you want to. You do not necessarily have to do it because you're God, and you don't have to fix problems. You don't have to do anything about it if you don't want to, because you are God all by yourself, and without you there's no other, without you there's no us, and all these other things that they say. But yet we all still die. They say, oh, when you die, if you serve God, you go to heaven. How do you know? Did anybody else come back to tell us? Or did they just have a good dream? Because does anybody that goes to heaven and do they ever ask God these questions? Do they ever say, well, why do we have to go through all this? Why do we have to live through this? Why? Oh, you signed contracts to come here and suffer. Why? What did I do in the previous life or anywhere to have to come back here and suffer and go through all the bullshit that this world has to offer? So anyways, something to think about, guys, something to kind of ponder on. Like, if God creates the evil and the good, who is the Most High? It seems like he's just another person just like me and you, or she's just another person like me and you, that we have flaws. We have good, we have evil, and we got to balance it. Anyways, talk to you later. That's my video. Have a good one. Bye.